All right, so if you've been watching the tech world at all, you know NVIDIA is on an absolute tear. But their latest earnings report, wow. It wasn't just good, it was like getting a blueprint for a whole new industry being built right before our eyes. So let's dig into the numbers and see what's really going on with this AI gold rush.
You know, companies drop earnings reports all the time, right? But this one from NVIDIA, it just hit different. It felt less like a boring financial document and more like a status update on, well, what their CEO is calling a new industrial revolution. And guess who's building the factories for it? Yep, NVIDIA.
Just look at this number, $46.7 billion. Seriously, for a second you might think that's a typo, but nope. That is their revenue in just 3 months. That one number tells you everything you need to know about the insane scale of the AI boom right now. Okay, so that number is already mind-bending on its own, but wait till you see it next to last year's number. That's when things get, well, just extraordinary. So last year, same quarter, they pulled in $30 billion, which, let's be honest, is already a huge number. This year, they slapped another $17 billion on top of that. We're talking a 56% jump. That's not just growth, people. That is an explosion. So you got to be asking, how is that even possible? How do you grow that fast? Well, it all comes down to their new tech called Blackwell. And this isn't just, a slightly faster chip. It's a complete rethink of how we do AI computation. It's a really big shift in their whole philosophy. Think about it like this. With their last generation Hopper, the idea was that each little GPU was its own superfast computer. Now with Blackwell, they're saying, forget that. The entire server rack is now one single giant computer, and it's all tied together with this crazy fast connection they call NVLink.
Even the CEO, Jensen Huang, said this engineering jump was extraordinary. And he's not kidding. We're talking about speed increases that are orders of magnitude faster. So for the companies buying all this stuff, what does that mean? Simple. Lower power bills and a way cheaper way to create the AI tokens that are the lifeblood of their services.
Okay, so we've got this unbelievably powerful new tech, but who's buying it all? And why is demand just off the charts? The answer to that question is all about the next big thing in AI. You've probably started hearing this term floating around, agentic AI. And trust me, it's not just another Silicon Valley buzzword. It's the real key to understanding why everyone is so desperate for more and more computing power. Here's the easiest way to think about it. Your standard chatbot today, it's kind of like a calculator. You ask it something, it gives you one answer back, boom, done. But agentic AI, that's like hiring a whole research team. You give it a big, complicated goal, and it can go do its own research, figure out a plan, even use other tools and software to actually get the job done. It's a total game changer. But all that thinking takes an absolutely insane amount of power, like 100 to 1,000 times more. And this is where we zoom out to the really big picture, because what we're seeing isn't just a temporary spike in sales. NVIDIA is playing the long game here. They're literally building the roads and power plants for a new AI-powered economy. And the market they see coming, it's just massive. Get this number in your head. $4 trillion. That's how big NVIDIA thinks the AI infrastructure market could be by the end of this decade. So yeah, they're not just selling computer chips. They're building the AI factories of the future. And they think this construction boom is going to last for a long, long time. And you think they're resting? No way. They are not slowing down one bit. NVIDIA is on this relentless one-year cycle now. So while everyone else is still desperately trying to buy Blackwell systems, NVIDIA's next-gen platform, it's codenamed Rubin, is already being built. It's wild. But, okay, it can't all be perfect, right? There is one big dark cloud hanging over all of this, and it's all about geopolitics. We're talking about the tricky situation with U.S. export rules and selling high-tech stuff to China. So if you look at the numbers right now, sales to China are about $2.8 billion. But that number is kind of misleading, because the future of any sales to China is a huge question mark. So here's the deal. U.S. export rules have basically stopped NVIDIA from shipping certain chips to China, and NVIDIA flat out said that if those rules change, they could be shipping anywhere from $2 to $5 billion worth of product in a single quarter. But for now, all that money is just sitting on the sidelines. It's completely off the table. So where does that leave us? What's the bottom line? Well, NVIDIA is sitting right at the heart of this incredible explosion, right? It's powered by this massive tech leap and this bottomless hunger from agentic AI. The risks with China are definitely real, you can't ignore them, but the demand itself, it just feels unstoppable.
So the biggest question really isn't if they're going to keep growing, it's how fast, and maybe what does the world even look like when they get there?